education is described as the most powerful tool for development in any society. To eradicate illiteracy and ignorance in Nigeria, enrollment into primary schools is made compulsory. In spite of this, however, the rate of out-of-school children is said to be on the high side. This, in no doubt, made the federal government to launch the school enrollment program across the country. This is our focus on our discussion on Panorama today. I am Adebola Oluwolidada. Joining me, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed the conviction that the Africa-Turkey partnership will be a game change in setting the countries involved in the path to sustainable development for Africans and Turks. He attributed this optimism to what he called the genuine openness, trust, and commitment manifested in their cooperation mechanism. This was at the third Africa-Turkey Partnership Summit in Istanbul, the Republic of Turkey. State House correspondent Adamu Samu reports.
The Turkey-Africa Partnership Summit, organized by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, had in attendance 16 heads of state and government, as well as over 100 ministers in charge of key sectors of their country's economies. Themed Enhanced Partnership for Common Development and Prosperity, the summit was aimed at carrying forward the strategic ties between Turkey and the continent of Africa to a new stage. Addressing participants, President Muhammadu Buhari said given the increasingly unpredictable nature of contemporary global challenges facing mankind, well-being of humanity must remain at the center of their agenda for the common good and prosperity of all.
We must therefore promote science, technology, and innovation, and share knowledge from research and development to better equip us to address present and future challenges in a more equitable and sustainable manner. The Turkey-Africa Strategic Partnership has become an integral part of our foreign policies, and the notable milestone recorded since the inception of this partnership attests to this. Not only has there been mutual support to respond to the pandemic, but also mutual support to build resilience and sustainable development in other sectors.
President Buhari was also delighted that due consideration was given to the issue of terrorism, saying in the Lake Chad Basin, for instance, Boko Haram, though fragmented and degraded, is still active and preying on soft targets.
We call upon our partnership to provide concrete support to help defeat terrorism and insurgency on the African continent. Another area this partnership must focus on is the global challenge of climate change, which is impacting us in Nigeria, Turkey, across Africa, and indeed across the world. It has become a catalyst for conflict through food insecurity, drying up of lakes, loss of livelihood, and youth migration, among others. I want to seize this opportunity to appeal for support for initiatives such as Africa's Great Green Wall on environment and land management. The initiative aims to restore 100 million hectares of degraded land in the 11 countries of the Sahara Strip, capture 250 million tons of carbon, and create 10 million green jobs by 2030.
Describing trade as an engine for development, sustained economic growth and poverty eradication, the president made a case for a significant increase in Africa-Turkey trade figures, leading to what he called a win-win for all countries, leveraging on African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Meanwhile, a 5-year action plan as well as joint implementation report have been adopted towards enhancing the Turkey-Africa relations in critical economic sectors, including the concrete projects to be carried out before the next summit in 2026 for the benefit of the continent. From Istanbul, Turkey, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Cross River State Government wants the World Bank, federal government tax team on agro-processing productivity enhancement and livelihood improvement support projects to ensure adequate implementation of its projects in the state. Deputy Governor of the state, Professor Ivara, stated this while declaring open the World Bank federal government's joint 7th implementation support appeal mission in Calabar. Paul Abel reports.
Decrying the wanton destruction of property by the NSAS protest last year on appeals facility, Deputy Governor Professor Ivara says the state has demonstrated capacity with the provision of agro-industries to enable farmers supply raw materials, and this will aid the implementation of the project in the state.
Are we promoting the well-being of the small and medium-scale farmers? Do we lack capacity for people to carry on these jobs? Please, tell us. We want this project to be sustainable.
The key players debunked their visit based on fault finding, but to ensure smooth implementation of the appeals project in the state.
To really see how far has the project here in terms of implementation meeting up with our target set, and we must give account of how we are improving the life of our beneficiaries, which changing their situation and the work state.
The Deputy Governor also inaugurated the renovated facility of the appeals project. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Still in Cross River State, the government will continue to support the Nigerian Legion due to immense contribution of fallen heroes and ex-servicemen to protection and unity of the country. These are the words of the Deputy Governor of Cross River State, Professor Ivara, during the launch of the 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance emblem in Calabar. Again, Paul reports.
The Nigerian Legion was established to cater for the welfare of ex-servicemen and the families of the fallen heroes. In support of this group of persons for their sacrifices to fatherland, the Cross River State government is willing to fulfill all promises made to the association.
As we celebrate our fallen heroes, we should pause to think about their lives, their wives, children, and other dependents left behind in need of assistance. Government, on our part, will continue to honor our commitments towards assisting the Nigerian Legion within the limit of our resources.
Earlier, the Nigerian Legion listed successes made, commended the state government while appealing for the completion of their state secretariat.
I wish to passionately appeal to all present here and other residents in the state to support the Legion by procuring and wearing the emblem with pride, to identify with those who laid down their lives for the peace and security of our fatherland.
The Deputy Governor, service commanders, and other dignitaries were decorated with the emblem. The Armed Forces Remembrance Day will be climaxed on 15th January 2022 with the laying of wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army 2 Brigade has offered free medical services to the indigents of Abak community in Akwa Ibom State as part of its social corporate responsibilities. Head of the Delegation Army Department of Civil Military Affairs team for monitoring, inspection of civil military cooperation activities under exercise Skilled Workers 2022, Colonel C.A. Osuago says the medical outreach is to extend services to the civilian populace as part of the civil military relations. Evelyn Bado Echo reports.
The medical outreach of the Nigerian Army is a continuous effort to foster a better relationship between the military and civilians while improving on the health of Nigerians. David Akpan, one of the beneficiaries of the gesture, and he says it is a financial relief for him while appreciating the Nigerian Army for their efforts at ensuring good health for Nigerians.
So we cannot be in the sun, or we cannot be able to celebrate December. So the military know what they are doing. They bring us an outreach back in this season. So
it's a very good opportunity for everyone coming here to partake in this treatment. So I want to tell them a very big thank you.
The monitoring team of Exercise Still Waters 2022 is encouraging members of the community to shun social vices capable of truncating their health and collaborate with the security agencies for useful information to address issues of insecurity in the communities.
I want to encourage all of you to continue to work together. I'm very happy with the way people have been cooperating with them. I have seen successes recorded. It is through you that all those with successes, drug destruction among all, was achieved.
Other activities, including pep talks or dangers of drug abuse and ways to maintain good health, were part of the free medical services. From our back local government area, Evelyn Badu-Eku, NTA News.
Personnel of the Nigerian Navy, NNS Jubilee, have been charged.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Our sincere apologies as we have to discontinue with our Ibadan Network Center and continue Panorama here in Abuja. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 828 new cases of COVID-19 in 13 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, as at 18th December 2021. The breakdown shows Rivers recorded 188 cases, while Lagos recorded 183, Delta recorded 97 cases, FCT 82, Oyo 67, and Edo 54, while Ekiti and Plateau State recorded 34 cases each. Kano had 27, Anambra 22, Kaduna 19, Enugu 12, Ogun 5, Kwara 4. Total confirmed cases now stand at 223,483 cases, with 211,522 treated and discharged, and 2,984 persons have died of the virus, unfortunately. No fewer than 5,000 persons have benefited from a free medical outreach sponsored by wife of Zamfara State's Governor Aisha Bello Muhammad in collaboration with the state chapter of the National Association of Resident Doctors. The beneficiaries are mostly the less privileged in a community in Gusau local government area of the state. Let's join correspondent Jamilo Ibrahim for details.
Though it is unarguably one of the most densely populated areas in Gusau, the capital of Zamfara State, Zaria community is obviously lacking in basic healthcare services. The choice of the community for a free medical outreach sponsored by wife of Zamfara State Governor Aisha Bello Muhammad is therefore widely considered as a step in the right direction. No fewer than 5,000 less privileged, mostly pregnant women, nursing mothers and children had benefited from the gesture. The medical outreach covers free screening for hypertension, blood sugar and drugs, as well as health talk on COVID-19 and other ailments.
And by giving mass drug administration, like identifying so that these diseases can actually be
wife of Zamfara State Governor Aisha Bello Muhammad, represented by Fatima Musa, says the exercise is part of the concerted efforts to bring essential healthcare services to the doorsteps of the common man with a view to building a healthy society.
Excellency is very committed to continue with this sustainable relationship and collaboration. So she has deemed it very necessary to prioritize maternal and child care health. That is why she has supported this association to ensure that every woman and child, every elderly is not left behind in accessing medical health care.
The free medical outreach is expected to be extended to some other communities in Gusau town and its environs soonest. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
To achieve the social development goals, particularly as it concerns access to good health care, key players in the health sector have called on governments to increase budgetary allocation and to also impose 1 kobo tax on calls from any telecommunication service provider to provide the much-needed fund to ensure the attainment of universal health coverage. This was the submission by stakeholders at the National Summit on Universal Health Coverage in Abuja. Correspondent Daniel Aderiye now reports.
A call for harmonious collaboration between policymakers, the political sector and the health sector have been highlighted as one of the few ways to further improve and indeed propel universal health coverage in Nigeria. However, even while the drawings might be on the board, conscious efforts must be made to make each blueprint a proper reality through increased funding and budgetary allocation.
As the 2023 general elections approach in Nigeria, they also come with abundant opportunities which can be leveraged to engage the political class, acquaint them with gaps and challenges in the health sector, deepen their knowledge about existing policy thrusts, and guide them to articulate a context-appropriate course of action that is capable of setting the country on UHC trajectory.
Also speaking at the summit was the chairman Senate Committee on Health, Senator Ibrahim Oluriegbe, and the former president of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, who say that because Nigeria is one of the signatories to the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs, conscious efforts must be made to achieve universal health coverage by providing adequate finance for health insurance.
The government is committed to getting that NHI ASAP. The importance of it is what we are doing today, which is health coverage, is that for the first time, health insurance will become mandatory for all Nigerians. For the first time, if that act is passed, we are going to have vulnerable group 4. Primary health care is where the real work needs to be done. The hard work in the rural areas, where you are taking nurses to rural areas, you are training health workers. That is the real work that is going to improve our health. But you find that a lot of our political leaders are not interested in that.
They noted that Nigeria, even in the midst of an economic dilemma, has withstood the scourge of COVID-19, but called for doubled efforts even as the new variant ravages parts of the world. In Abuja, Daniel Aderiye, NT News.
Now to a bit of political party affairs. In an effort to restore normalcy and reconcile aggrieved members of the All Progressives Congress in Niger State, an 11-man committee has been inaugurated to this effect. This is in a swift reaction to the suit filed by a group of disgruntled members of the party in court. Mukhtar Abubakar Wowo reports.
As part of the mandate of the reconciliatory team set up by the Niger State APC Working Committee is to go around the 25 local government areas of the state, identify and reconcile disgruntled members of the party.
Whoever is aggrieved in one way or the other, whatever way that person is aggrieved, this committee will reach out to that person or group of persons, interface with them, plead with them to come back to the party and forge ahead.
The state APC chairman Haliru Zakarji Kantoro reacts to the court case by some party members in the state alleging irregularities in the conduct of the October 16 state party congress.
Maybe they felt going to the court may be better for them, but I think it's not good. And very soon with this committee, that case, inshallah, shall be withdrawn.
Standing in for the chairman who is absent today, we follow the terms of reference judiciously
And first, we identify genuine aggrieved members. So if when we are able to do that, then we proceed from there.
The Barbary-led Reconciliatory Committee is expected to report back to the State Working Committee after 4 weeks from the date of its inauguration. Emina Mukhtar, NTA News.
In another development, beyond winning elective positions in 2023, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Ebonyi State has repositioned, re-strategized and reinforced to deliver true dividends of democracy to the people with provisions of basic amenities. Caleb Ogbonna has the details.
Critical stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party PDP from national and state level, in agreement with the state party chairman Honorable Tochukwu Okorie, say PDP is poised to wrestle back Ebonyi State seat of power as they are now one big and happy family with the sole purpose of delivering people's oriented government to the people.
PDP is a party loved by people because it has been consistent in delivering good governance, people-oriented programs, and therefore we will explore the appeal that the party has in the states.
In a show of oneness and unity of purpose, Senator Obinna Oba, representing Ebonyi Central Senatorial Zone, donated 17 vehicles to the state executives and thereafter assured party faithful of their impending victories at all levels come 2023.
Ebonyi people always have faith in the party, and I can assure you that the party will not disappoint them.
The People's Democratic Party, PDP, was the ruling party in the state before Governor Mahi defected to the All Progressive Congress, APC. In Abakaliki, Caleb Ogbonna, NTA News.
Nigeria has launched a national research and capacity building project for the implementation of a deep decarbonization pathway program. Onengiye Fineface reports that the project is under the framework of the 2050 facility funded by the French Development Agency.
Deep Carbonization Project is an initiative of the federal government to mobilize and reinforce local capacities for scientific analysis of low emissions pathways, as well as produce country-specific low emissions development strategies.
There is still a need to better understand the quantities of emission reductions that can be made from each of the sectors of the economy, such as power, oil and gas, transport, agriculture, industry, and several others. But we need to have a better understanding of how rapidly such emissions can be made in tandem with sustainable economic growth, the technologies that will be needed, and the wider economic and social implications of rapid emission reduction pathways.
The project launch aims to build community ownership and supports for Nigeria's long-term climate action plans, including the goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2060.
Methodologies addressing climate change effects were mostly initiated by northern countries, but we need to include local content when it comes to implement them in sub-Saharan Africa.
The framework for the project was established through a memorandum of understanding by the federal government and French Development Agency signed in December 2020. Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
And next on Panorama is sports updates.
Defending champions Nigeria Customs Service volleyball team are 3 wins away from successfully defending their Premier League title as the team beat USMVC by 3-0 on day 7 of the ongoing final phase of the Nigerian Premier Volleyball League Saturday in Abuja. Ofa VC produced the surprise win of match day 7 after beating phase 1 leaders Kano Pillars by 3-1.
We prepared for this competition, and it's the result of the preparations that we are seeing now. We've played 6 matches, we've won all the 6 matches, we have 3 matches to go, we'll still continue to take them one at a time.
NSCDC, Nigeria Customs Service, and Nigeria Immigration also won their various matches in the women's category. In golf, Nigerians have been admonished to take part in regular key-fit exercises as well as encouraging the spirit of sportsmanship. Stakeholders made the call at the 2021 Save the Life Charity Golf Tournament in Abuja, where over 100 golfers compete for honors as part of activities to mark the 2021 International Universal Health Coverage Day.
People are so dedicated in ensuring that they play golf and not playing just for playing sake. They are also playing golf to save lives.
My advice is to encourage them to continue to do more, to add value to the lives of those who seem not to have so much to live for.
In hockey, Nigeria's male and female hockey team are intensifying training at the hockey pitch package B section of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, ahead of the 2022 Hockey Africa Cup of Nations in Ghana. 18 players each will finally make the cut to represent the country, as the team are confident that they are going to the Nations Cup not just to make up the numbers, but to win the trophies in both categories.
Giving support to this particular team and this country shows that it's not like business as usual before.
The 2022 Hockey Africa Cup of Nations will start from the 17th of January in Ghana. With sports update, Olalekan Kilajolu, NTA News.
And that's Panorama. We thank you for watching. I'm Ayo Deji. Makinde. Please remember to connect with the NTA and stand against rape and rapists. Good afternoon. Issues in the sports sector remain one of the most debated among Nigerians due to the passion, followership, government involvement, impact on Nigeria's external image,